Hello everyone, ATR here, and it's patch time! That's right, the March 31st, 2015 update patch notes are now live, and as the first line says right there, the patch is going to be going live tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Whatever time zone that is for you, I don't know, figure it out, but most of you are going to be waiting anxiously to be able to get your hands into this one. So, without much delay, let's jump into it. It's a lot to go through, so this is going to take a while. Let's go. So, like it says there, it's going to go live at 3 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. The servers are going to be going down for an hour to facilitate the update, and yeah, they're trying all this. So, it says that they are putting the attention towards maps, balance, and bug fixes. So grab a hot cocoa, swig of whiskey, or another random beverage of your choice, and settle in for some ever so exciting patch notes. So, starting off with maps, it looks like they have added some maps. We have General Mud for 628, and we got Angoville. So, any Company Heroes fan, we got Angoville, although I'm kind of disappointed it's not Angovilski or Angovilskaya or Langroville, I don't know. But yeah, Angoville is back. That is an awesome, good old Vico map, and yeah, that's gonna be fun. Also, we have some community maps that have been added to both custom and auto match. So we got all these. Maybe you're familiar with them or not. I mean, we have famous Monolithic Bacon getting some 6 to 8 player maps out there. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to see new maps in the mix. And it also says that they have refined these maps based on community feedback. We got Hill 331, Minx Pocket, Moscow Outskirts, Samoski Winter, Samoski, and Le Glaze. All of those have been a little bit rebalanced and refined to make it better. Hopefully we'll be able to spot those differences as we get casts going on those maps later on. Also, it says the following maps have been removed from Auto Match based on feedback from the community. We got Face Off at Rostov, Hurtgen Forest, and Samoski, but only from the 2v2 list. So Samoski's still going to be there. And also, Shallow Water no longer offers a speed reduction penalty, so no longer units are going to be slowed down in the water. They're still going to get that negative cover that, Shallow Water gives you, but they're not going to be slow, so that's, kind of nice. Balance, the most important topic in Company Heroes, right? So let's get into it. For this update, we approached balance with 3 main goals in mind: to reduce the disparity of army balance between Axis and allies, to reduce the effectiveness of blobbing, and to reduce the negative effect users in gameplay, and all that. So it says here, we have aimed to create a more evenly measured match where Axis and allies have equal advantages from start to finish, reduce the temporal effect that we were seeing in data where allies have an early advantage at a higher VP count, and bring OKW, ELO, or ELOD in line with other factions. Also, for the blobbing, to improve already existing blob counters in non-lethal ways, and also to promote and encourage combined arms. And to reduce the negative experience in gameplay, we're working to reduce the amount of frustrating moments that can be caused by undesirable gameplay, including truck pushing and bugs. So, truck pushing apparently is going to be addressed even further. Reduce moments that go against our fundamental design of unit preservation in the game, including squad wiping abilities, one-shots, and high lethality. And reduce the number of scenarios where players are not rewarded for their tactical play. So here we go. OKW, the SWS trucks. That's the ones that turn into buildings. We've seen ongoing complaints that the OKW SWS trucks provide an unfair advantage to some players. We had our stats team pulled in-game numbers related to this in order to assess the situation and determine actual game impact. Not only can the SWS truck push units out of points and into unfavorable positions, it can also scout for the player with no real penalty. By reducing the speed, we have made it much more difficult to push around infantry. So yeah, I mean, at least they're addressing the pushing, because yeah, like I've said before, I mean, the truck is free, and if you are not revolving your strategy against building 3 trucks, structures, you can just simply send your truck every 180 seconds to scout for you, and it doesn't matter if it dies, it's free. Max speed has been reduced 4.2 to 3.2, armor reduced to 3, wreck armor has been reduced from 25 to 4, so the wreckage dies easier, I guess. And the wreck can now be killed by small arms fire. There you go. Flak base defenses. Another common concern we've seen is that OKW's default anti-air is unfairly advantageous when compared to all other factions that are required to spend resources to build anti-air. OKW-based flak guns' chance to shoot down aircraft has been reduced to 0.05%. Okay, so they basically made it so that they don't take down aircraft. I mean, they have a 0.5 chance of doing it. But yeah, I mean, it's just designed to stop infantry like all other base defenses do, right? Volksgrenadiers. The received accuracy bonus the Volksgrenadiers gained at veterancy level 5 made them extremely durable. Durability was not one of the intended roles of the squad, so adjustments were made. Removed the 0.71 received accuracy at veterancy level 5, added a 0.7 cooldown and reload at veterancy 5. So they're not going to be as tough anymore at veterancy 5 as far as durability, but they are going to be, I guess, deadlier because they have a lower cooldown. Panzerschreck. To help facilitate our goals of anti-blobbing, we have decided to reduce the effectiveness of Panzerschreck at long range. It was previously quite easy to move a Schreck blob into position and snipe vehicles. The reduction in accuracy at greater distances will ensure that in order to be effective, OKW players will need to commit further into enemy lines. Okay, so far accuracy has been reduced from 0.025 to 0.02, so that's... okay. Well, we'll see how big of an impact that is, because that's 0.005, so yeah. Obersoldaten. In examining blobbing and the current meta, we discovered that the OKW blob effectiveness was in large part due to the Obersoldaten. Their high DPS nullifies any infantry threat to the Volksgrenadiers. In combination with the Volk's previous Vet 5 durability bonus, the Obers made the perfect meat shield. We feel by delaying the LMG with an upgrade, this should give players sufficient time to respond. The reduction in damage on the MG34 LMG was necessary, as it was killing units at such a fast rate it was far too difficult for other players to react. So yeah, so it looks like the LMG is no longer going to be by default. LMG moved to an upgrade, and it's an exclusive upgrade. Can only purchase LMG or STG. Okay, and now costs 60 munitions. Damage been reduced from 8 to 6. And the STG-44 damage from 8 to 6. So the Obersoldaten taking quite a bit of punishment here. A decently sized nerf there. So they don't start with an LMG. It now costs munitions, and it's also not as good as it once was. So we'll see what the fate of the Obersoldaten is in the new meta, right? The Raketen Warfare that everybody loves how I pronounce the Raketen Warfare. These changes will help improve the responsiveness of the Raketen Warfare better, allowing it to engage fast-moving targets. The reload time has been partially increased relative to the amount of time reduced on aim time. However, the unit's overall performance will be slightly higher. So, time required to aim on the first shot fire has been reduced from 1 to 1.5 seconds to 0.25 and 3.75 seconds. Fire aim time taken to aim on subsequent shots, 125. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty significant reduction, actually. Reload time has been increased to 3.8 to 4.3 seconds, so almost a whole second going up. So yeah, essentially it's going to shoot faster, or react faster to shoot, but it's going to take longer to reload. LEIG 18 Infantry Support Gun, so basically the mortar. The suppression on AoE will also help to improve its effectiveness against blobbing in a non-lethal way. Added mild AoE suppression on hit. Interesting. Okay. I wonder if they're going to be doing that to other mortars, but yeah, I mean, the support gun, so it's going to have suppression abilities. It hits near blobs and potentially suppresses the guys nearby, so cool. King Tiger. Allied late game had an exceptionally difficult time penetrating the frontal armor of the King Tiger, which caused a significant amount of frustration for our players. Telemetry data we pulled supported the need for change in this area, and is frequently and unfairly prevented any realistic allied combat. By reducing the armor to the same value as the IS-2, it should make the King Tiger a little bit easier to damage. Its offensive power still remains deadly as always. So looks like they reduced the armor by 50 for the King Tiger. So that means more penetration by the US forces. US forces! Wolverine. The M10 Wolverine is a capable tank destroyer, but too fragile in its current stage, given that it requires players to get up close and personal in order for it to be effective. With an increase in health, the M10 will now be able to withstand one extra shot of direct tank fire. So, nice, 160 points up in health, so still gonna die. It's soft and squishy as far as armor, but it can get up there to inflict the damage that it needs to. Jackson. The Jackson had issues dealing damage consistently due to its lower penetration. Our team had chosen to reduce the damage dealt by the M36 while also increasing the penetration. Two changes we feel will offset each other in an ideal way. This will allow for the Jackson to retain its current role while also being a more consistent tank destroyer. This is an indirect buff to Wehrmacht Tier 3 in which every tank was hard countered by the Jackson in its current form. Okay, interesting. So yeah, I mean, it's going to do less damage, 40 less damage, but the penetration has been increased. A decent amount, actually. 40 in each side. Okay. And armor-piercing round increased as well, so... Okay. Yeah, I mean, the penetration of the normal shot is almost kind of similar to armor-piercing round's previous penetration, so these go up by 20. Greyhound, canister shot. We have found that the M8 previously had the ability and tendency to one-shot kill a lot of squads with no way to counter it. By increasing the damage but removing its death critical on hit, we are aiming to give a more dispersed damage among clips of units without instantly killing squads. We have also made some adjustments to the default gun in order to compensate for the reduced effectiveness of critical hits. The Greyhound's gun should now have a similar stat to that of the Steward. Okay. So canister shot had more increased damage. The radius from 3 to 5. It now pierces. It got the critical on death removed. The damage has been increased as well on the normal shot. The penetration has been increased. Distance scatter has also been increased, meaning that it actually scatters more. Reload has been reduced, so it reloads quicker. Radius has been reduced, so it doesn't have AoE, and call-in recharge has been increased from 45 seconds to 90 seconds. So interesting. So the Greyhound seen a little bit of a major overhaul there and rebalance, and we'll see how good it is. We don't see it too often in 1v1s, unfortunately, at least not to my experience, but hell, maybe it'll become more popular now. The Mortar Half-Track. Through research, we found that the USF Mortar Half-Track has been one of the most lackluster mortars in the game. Aside from its white phosphorus ability, the most inefficient mortar in the game should now be in line with its other Mortar Half-Track counterpart. So, angle scattered have been reduced, distance scatter also reduced, and mid damage has been increased from 0.15 to 0.35. So, bit of a nice buff there to it, reducing the scatter and mid damage, increasing apparently. Pack Howitzer. The suppression on AoE will help the Pack Howitzer's effectiveness against blobbing in a non-lethal way. Okay, so the Pack Howitzer also getting that AoE suppression ability, so that should probably be nice, and we'll most likely see more Pack Howitzers on the field. And the HMC is a great unit, but we have found that this its squad wiping ability was consistently too high, wiping full squads with its first shot. With this, and HMC is the howitzer motor carriage, the M8A4 or something like that. I forget. But anyways, yeah, it did wipe a lot of squads. With the change in damage in AU, you will see better damage dispersed throughout the squad without killing it outright. So. Distance far increased from 3 to 4, distance mid increased from 2 to 2.5, and the damage reduced by 20. Okay, so we'll see if it's still good or no longer valid or viable. Soviets Sniper. With our goal to reduce and remove negative gameplay, the Soviet Sniper's sprint ability has come up frequently in conversations. If the enemy has set up a flank designed to eliminate the sniper, Soviet players were able to use the sprint ability to quickly get away at any time. This ability simply granted too much utility to the sniper. Sprint removed from Veterancy 1 abilities. Flares are now granted at Veterancy 1. Interesting. So the Soviet snipers can no longer sprint. That's brutal, actually. That's a nasty blow to the snipers. We'll see if they get used. The B4. There were two main issues with the B4 that we wanted to resolve. First, the fact that the B4 significantly hampered unit preservation, and second, that the B4 has been overperforming in relation to other howitzers available to our players. The additional damage dealt at Veterancy Level 3 and the potential to combine the damage bonus from For Mother Russia made this unit extremely lethal. Direct fire now pierces through terrain to improve usability, still requires clear line of sight. Okay. Direct fire range has been reduced from 150 to 100, so reducing the range. Okay. Direct fire cost has been reduced from 180 munitions to 90 munitions, and direct fire now requires veterancy level 1. Okay. Removed precision strike. Veterancy level 3 has had its 1.5 damage bonus removed. Veterancy 3 now increases ability range by 33% on barrage and direct fire. Okay, so I mean, it's interesting changes, but yeah, okay. For Mother Russia, the previous modifiers resulted in unintended consequences, such as the B4 having the capability to take out a Tiger tank in one shot. The modifiers have been adjusted accordingly to better align with our gameplay systems. 1 point time X damage bonus converted to 1.25 weapon accuracy. Guard troops. Our team determined that as one of the worst rifles anti-tank in the game, changes to the PTRS were necessary in order to make it a bit more sufficient at its role. Its damage profile remains the same, so damage will still be relative to current values. So PTRS accuracy increased. Okay. So yeah, I mean, they just increased the accuracy for the PTRS rifles. So that's nice. I mean, yeah, I mean, they're not really impressive, so it's good that they're at least hitting consistently. 120mm mortar. The 120 is a great unit, however, its combination of accuracy and AoE damage profile meant it regularly wiped full squads with its first shot. With the change in damage AoE, players will see damage dispersed throughout the squad without killing the squad outright. Damage distance medium increased from 3 to 3.5, and damage distance near reduced from 1.5 to 1.2, so okay. Wehrmacht. Pioneers. Our aim is to encourage positional play and combined arms, which the Wehrmacht faction tends to reply on more than any other faction. Reply? I think it's rely, right? Rely on more than any other faction. With an increase in sight, albeit still lower than Pathfinders, we are allowing Pioneers to help spot for their HMGs and other support teams. Sight increased from 35 to 42. Okay, so the piles are now going to be good at scouting. Panzerschreck. Far accuracy reduced from 0.25 to 0.2. Okay. Sniper accuracy. In analyzing statistical data, we discovered that the German sniper had one of the shortest average lifespans compared to its Soviet counterpart. Well, yeah, because it's only one guy. By increasing its health, we are compensating for a lack of other squad members at the Soviet sniper team. Health increased from 48 to 82. I mean, that's a decent buff in health. It's almost doubling its health. But, it still has the fact that it's only a one-man squad against a two-man sniper squad. The 222 armored car. Our aim here is to provide the armored car with an increased level of durability so that it may act as a better deterrent against light vehicles. So the 222 gets more health. Heavy machine gun 42. We found that the HMG 42, or MG 42 as it's commonly known, has been slightly underperforming in the damage department. These changes are meant to improve its performance and thereby better align it with other HMG teams. Didn't we have the MG42 made like this on purpose because it was overperforming before when it could kill everything, and we had Wehrmacht players just building MG teams before? I mean, hopefully this doesn't mess up with bulletins and such, but okay. Well, the accuracy in all distances has been increased for the MG, so that means it's going to be hitting more and doing more damage. Hopefully it's still going to be, you know, fair and balanced. Tiger, Tiger Ace, Panther, King Tiger, and the Blitzkrieg ability. Upon review, we felt that it didn't make much sense that these heavy armored vehicles could move in and out of danger so quickly. We also found that it provided a negative gameplay experiences for those trying to counter this. Similarly to the changes made to the Soviet sniper sprint ability, we've decided to tone down the effectiveness of Blitzkrieg specifically for these 3 units. Wait, why 3 units? Because I see Tiger, Tiger Ace, Panther, King Tiger. Those are 4. Okay. Well, Blitzkrieg max speed bonus has been reduced from 35% to 15% exclusively for the Tiger and Panther. Other tanks remain the same. Okay. So the Tiger and the Panther, they only get 15% speed bonus. Looks like the Tiger Ace and the King Tiger are still going to get the same. Acceleration has been reduced from 60% to 30%, so they accelerate a little bit not as quickly. And Combat Blitz ability speed bonus modifier has been reduced from 2 to 1.4. So anyways, I mean, all this means is Blitzkrieg has been toned down a little bit, so they're not going to be as quick. And yeah, we'll see how big of an impact it has. And that's it for balance. Let's go into the bugs. We fixed issue when Pack 40 and Pack 43 anti-tank guns could infinitely stun enemy vehicles after being recrewed. Okay, and that's nice. Fixed issues where sandbags were missing from Panzer IVs in hold down mode. Fixed issue where the war spoil service would appear the user clicked on the graph stats in the post. Okay. Oh yeah, hold down release and prioritize vehicles no longer share the same classic hotkey. Sandbags and racer wire no longer share the same classic hotkey in the Advanced Assault campaign. Fix several issues where some skins were not applying correctly to some Russian and Wehrmacht vehicles. Textures on the Panzer Grenadiers weapons is no longer corrupted, and demo charges are now targetable when revealed. Oh, that's actually great. Yeah, that was the thing before, right? I think a video came out recently that, yeah, I mean, you can spot a demo charge, but if you go to disable it with your sweeper guys, they end up getting blown up because that doesn't mean it can't be, detonated. But anyways, so yeah, that is the patch notes that we have. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, there's some rather good changes all around here. It's nice to see what's going to happen, but I think some people were expecting some more stuff in this patch, and maybe you're disappointed. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, and of course, I think I'm going to see you tomorrow for the hotfix that comes after this, right? Right? Right. I'll see you next time.